Yo everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins Gate Zero. Last left off, we ended up in the world of post-World War III Japan 2036. That came out not the way I intended it to, but there we go. And we're going out to try and help. Well, we're going out to try and give support to Luca, Ferris, and Mayuri, who had been attacked. When we finally got there, I saw several silhouettes. I'd been mentally preparing myself for a fierce battle, but the whole place was dead quiet. There were several men dressed like soldiers lying on the ground nearby. In front of them was Suzuha. Kneeling next to her were two women, and at their feet, I could tell at a glance. The person laying there was Lukaku. The two women looked up at me. Mayuri and Ferris both seemed beaten down by the passage of time. Hey, Okabe's not looking too bad there. Okabe? His features had grown more gallant, but his face was still soft and feminine. He was wearing military outfit as well. Lukaku looked at me with his hazy eyes. Is it really you, Okabe? Yeah, Lukaku. It's me. You call me Lukaku. It's really you. A single trail of blood dropped from Lukaku's mouth. His outfit was stained with blood over his right breast, and the blood dripped onto the ground. I knew immediately that the wound was fatal. I'm glad. What I just heard was true. Yeah, thanks to you, I was able to wake up. Thank you. Lukaku's hand reached up towards the sky as if he was looking for something. Maybe he couldn't even see me anymore. When I grabbed his hand, it was very cold. What is it? I did it. Yeah. Thanks to the Senshin Sana school you taught me, I was able to protect Mayuri and everyone else. I'm one of you guys now, right? I'm really one of you now, aren't I? You always were one of us. Luca reached out a cold hand and touched my cheek, and smiled a dazzling smile. That makes me happy. That's all he said. And then, the touch of my cheek disappeared. The cold hand fell to the rubble-covered ground. And never moved again. How could this happen? I'm glad Lukaku always wanted to see Ocarine. I'm glad he got to see him in the end. Glad? She was glad? After this? Mayuri's word made me realize how hellish the last 25 years I'd slept through must have been. Luca Ishiribara, you fought splendidly. You saved us. Please rest in peace. This is just... It's not fair. Where's Mayushi? She cried herself out and went to sleep. I can understand that. Oh man, Luca! Oh. I couldn't understand that. She and Lukashi were good friends. Brother Luca. Lukaku was dead. He died protecting Mayuri and Ferris. In my mind, his death overlapped with Mayuri's. Mayuri's hand getting closer, getting colder, and so did Lukaku's. It was the same no matter where I went. Mayuri, Lukaku, and Krisu. Everyone dies. A lot of people died after that war started. All our friends from elementary school, all our friends from middle and high school, all our friends from college, our relatives, our teachers, people we knew, kids, adults, even the people we loved. So many people died. I knew this was coming. At least, I thought I knew. If I didn't reach Steins Gate, if I stayed in the Beta World line, the world would evidently burn. I heard it 1,000 times, and I thought I knew what the future would be like. But in the end, it was just a story about a distant future. It didn't feel real at all. I could only imagine it. All I heard were vague, unrealistic ideas. All the thousands of nightmares I experienced. I thought nothing could be worse than that. But when I saw it with my own eyes, heard it with my own ears, and felt it with my own skin, I realized that everything I thought was wrong. Piles of bodies, wild dogs devouring human corpses, dead soldiers, the smell of burning flesh, the smell of rotten organs, the warmth of Lukaku's blood in my hands, the warmth of Mayuri's blood, the warmth of Chris's blood. I thought that if nothing else, I managed to save Mayuri. I let Krisu die, turned my eyes away from reality, and told myself that at least I saved Mayuri and the others. But in the end, I hadn't saved anyone. Even if I had, I'd only saved myself. I was the only person I had managed to save. No one else. Not Krisu. Not Mayuri. Not Kagari, not Luka. I hadn't saved anyone. Please, release Krisu from the bonds of Amadeus. Huh? A message from you in the year 2025. A message from myself? The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. That's what you said 11 years ago. Wait. A message from you in the year 2025. A message from myself. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. That's what you said 11 years ago. Release Krisu. So, this world we're in isn't wasted. This world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm okay with things as they are. Daru. So, Ocarine, why not go back and think about it, to the moment when your memory's cut off. To 2011, but that's not... I could see my aged body in the glass. And anyway, even if I did go back, what could I do? You can do it. I heard a voice I recognized from the radio. It's been a while, Okabe. 11 years, I think? Hayujo? Look in the back of the room. As if he'd known what she was going to say, Dao had moved to a spot in the back of the room where the lights didn't reach. Suddenly, it got brighter, and I saw the phone wave. Name subject to change. I made it after hearing about it from you and Hashida. See? It's got a VR headset too. I've got a lifter ready too. I thought this might happen. Dao went on to explain that for the last 11 years, he'd maintained an environment where I could receive the time leap even in a coma. That made sense. Even if I was in a coma, as long as they put the receiver up to my head, it would still function. Mario and the others had taken care of my body since 2025. So Dao and Maho had known this day would come 11 years ago? Or maybe I told them back in 2025. Our improvements mean that now it's possible to go back in time 336 hours. 2 weeks? But that will only get you part of the way back. We made the modification to the machine about 10 years ago. So beyond that, you'll only be able to go 28 hours at a time. In other words, if I wanted to go back to the end of January 2011, I need about 3,000 time leaps. It's going to be a long and painful journey, but if you're still up for it, almost 3,000 time leaps? Was I really capable of something like that anymore? If you get tired, you can rest part way. Daru, don't worry. No matter what year it is, we'll always be with you. You know, I've got a lot of regrets. Thanks to Amadeus, even after her death, a lot of people tried to use her for evil. For years, for decades. So I want your help too. Release her. Release Krisu from that ugly spiral of greed. Save Krisu. You're the only one who can. I didn't know if I could do it anymore. There was no guarantee that the path I was about to travel would ever lead to Steins Gate. But even so, maybe I should think it over again. What could I do? What should I do? Alright guys, I'm in. As soon as the words were out of his mouth, he started getting ready. Okabe. If you ever see Krisu, tell her that in the future, I beat her time leap record 7 times over. Got it. If I ever saw Krisu. Okuin, I'm all set. That was fast. I always kept it maintained. I figured you would. I bet. The phone wave name subject change and the VR headset, they looked a little different from what I'd seen in the old lab, but they're still our future gadgets. Oh, but are you sure you don't want to talk to Big Sis Mayuri and the others? If I don't go now, I think my resolve is going to weaken. And even if I don't see them now, I'll be able to see them whenever I want in the past. That's right. Dao smiled as I took the VR headset out of his hand and put it on my head. Alright, see you 2 weeks ago. See you 2 weeks ago. Yeah, see you 2 weeks ago. Hang in there. And then, I jumped back into the past once more. It took a long, long time. The journey was unimaginably long. I looked at the phone I was holding up in my hand. The date read January 31st, 2011. No doubt about it. I was back. I'd finally made it back. I could look at my phone again, and I realized I got some new wallpapers. Okay. It's the new wallpaper. You know what? Why not? Okay, sorry. easily distracted. I'd gone back through so many years. I'd done thousands of time leaps. Gone through the war. I'd almost died. I thought of giving up a bunch of times. But each time I remembered it all. That ruined world. The pile of corpses. The screams. The shouting. The dripping blood. And Dao and Maho and how they sent me off. After a long, unimaginably long time, I finally made it back to this time. Ocarine? Did he get some bad news or something? Huh? You've been kind of spacing out since you picked up the phone. No, that's not it. That's not it. Mayu was here. Are you still thinking about New Year's? Are you still thinking about New Year's, maybe? Ferris was here. Get hold of yourself, man. And Daru. And Lukako. And Suzuha. And... Maho and Kigari were here, too. Are you feeling tired after what we did earlier? Earlier? You know, when you took the samples of your memories for Amadeus. Oh, right. Daru mentioned that. He said that it was at the end of January. No, that's it. Just, you know. Kigari? What is it, Ocarine? You still can't remember what happened since you came to this time. Huh? Yeah? I see. Why do you ask? No reason. I wanted to make sure. You're being rude, Ocarine. Since I came from the future, I knew. In this war line, Chris's memories no longer existed inside Kigari's head. But it doesn't really bother me anymore, though. I mean, Mommy's here, and Luca's here, and Big Sis Rumi's here, too, and there are lots of food, too, so maybe I don't need to force myself to remember. I see. Maybe that was fine, for now, but the future wasn't going to be filled... The future was going to be filled with sorrow. For Mayuri, for Ferris, for Lukako, for Daru, for Suzuha, for Kigari, and for Maho. Did I really make the right choice when I decided to let Krisu die? After everyone had left, I was alone. All the exhaustion came crashing down on me. I had time-leapt 3,000 times. I wonder how they got the last few years. So the time machine is going on now? Like, where's the time machine now? Maybe Maho? I thought I'd been able to work things out in my head along the way, but I'd been so desperate to return to the past that I hadn't had time. My mind was worn down after all those time leaps. I thought I made my decision, but I found myself wavering again and again. I only managed to do it by telling myself that I had to get back before I could make any decisions. And now my head just felt like so tired. What should I do now? What should I do? For now, I didn't want to think about anything. But I felt too awake to even sleep. With everyone gone, the temperature in the lab was quickly dropped. It was freezing. But it was nothing compared to the cold I felt before. That world I'd seen right after I erased Chris's memories from Kigari's. Krisu was there, Mayu was there, everyone was there. And since from that very brief... I was from a scene from that very brief piece I had during that summer. But that world had been so cold. And now I knew why. That was the world I had experienced when I was asleep, existing only as data. A world built of zeros and ones. Like being alive even when you're dead, or being forced to stay alive even though you were dead. The people I loved were there, but there was no warmth. I could reach out and touch them, but there wasn't even a little bit of warmth. It was like floating in a deep, dark space without any light at all. And Maske Krisu was now experiencing that too. She was all alone in a cold world without the slightest trace of warmth. I raised my hand under the fluorescent light, and I could see veins rising up out of it, and then red blood flowing in them. I was alive. There was warmth. But could I really say that I was alive, now that my memories had been digitalized? After being exposed to that cold world, could I really be called human? I heard a knock at the door and turned my eyes towards it. Maho was standing there. Heard you, I thought you went home. I forgot something. Forgot something? Anyway, what are you doing here all by yourself? Maho showed no sign of looking for whatever she had lost. Instead, she came right up to me and sat down in front of me. You had that pensive look on your face for a long time now. Is something bothering you? Maybe she'd been worried enough to come back and check on me. I can't take Chris's place, but I can still talk to you if you want. Hayajo. There's no need to worry about whether I could tell her or not. I needed her to make the time leap machine, and for that she needed to hear everything. It's not exactly easy to believe, but will you listen to me anyway? Oh wait, no, yeah, she did make the time leap, or something similar to the time leap machine. For Kigari's memories with Krisu, just not without the phone wave. Oh man, this is confusing. Sheesh. What's your problem? That was the first thing she said after I finished. Just like last time, it wasn't something that was easy for her to believe. But Maho must have sensed something in the way I spoke, because she listened until I finished. She interrupted me when there was something she didn't understand. She was especially interested in the time leap machine and the time leaps. I told her everything I knew about them. Will you believe me? I don't have a choice. After seeing that look in your face, and after seeing this too. Hayajo. This answers something I've always wondered about. Krisu had died only a short while after coming to Akihabara. Could you really have gotten to know her in that short span of time? Especially knowing how she is, right? I thought something must have gone on for her to get so close to a boy that fast. So that was it, she whispered to herself. And? So what's on your mind? I turned away from her. Okabe. Am I me? What do you mean? You heard what I said, right? My memories were turned into data and stored on a hard drive. You could call them artificial memories if you wanted. Can you really say that I'm me anymore? Can you say that I'm alive? There was blood running through my body, but what was in my head had been changed into ones and zeros. Didn't that make me no different from Amadeus? That's what's bothering you? That's stupid. But Maho just laughed at my words. Have you ever heard of the philosophical zombie? Philosophical zombie. A thought experiment proposed by philosopher David Chalmers to explain qualia? Qualias are individual sensory expressions like red, a good smell, or sweet. Okay. A philosophical zombie is someone whose external experience, internal structure, and words and actions mirror humans, but who lacks these qualia. In this case, we would have been unable to distinguish between philosophical zombies and ordinary humans. Okay. It's a thought experiment, right? Something that looks and behaves just like a human, but lacks the consciousness and emotion. And whether or not you could objectively distinguish it from human. I hesitated a little as I answered her sudden question. Well, that's basically right. She nodded, satisfied, like a teacher would do. Then let's say, right here, there was an AI that looked just like a human. It looks like a human and acts like one too. When someone's in trouble, it reaches out to help them, and when it's sad, it cries. Maybe they're just programmed processes, but humans are no different. Everyone thinks and reacts in accordance to their own individual processes. We just happen to call these processes things like consciousness and feelings. I thought I understood what Maho was trying to say. In other words, AIs have feelings too? At least, we scientists are doing our best to create them. She puffed out her chest with pride. So, Okabe, do you think you're not an AI with emotions? Do you think you're not an AI with emotions? If they looked just like a person and thought just like them, and had feelings too, they were a person. No. Right. It's memories that make someone who they are. Anyway, memories are everything to people, everything people have experienced since they were born. So, Okabe Minato, even if your memories were once data, you've got your body and your memories, you're human. You're Okabe Minato. Don't worry about it. Hayacho. And anyway, didn't Krisu timely digitalize data to send it back in time? So there's any need to worry about this now? So is there any need to worry about this now? I still don't get. I still don't understand the whole Wiedensteiner thing, but semantics. That was what Doe had told me in the future too. But strangely, when she said it, it made me feel better. Maybe Krisu would have been able to come up with a better way to put it, but no, that's not true. That was more than enough. Mao had given her opinion. As a brain scientist, that I was still me. There was strength in her words, just like there had been in Krisu's when she'd driven me forward. I remember what Maho had said before. You're a genius, and in the end, I'm just Saleri. She'd been speaking to the memories of Krisu inside Kagari, but Hiajo, you're not Saleri. Huh? You're Amadeus. That's right. I'm here right now. I'm alive, I'm here in this time, not in that cold sea of black data. I'm here in this time. A light came on in the darkness. My cold heart began to warm, but Krisu, she was still trapped inside that world. Inside that sterile, lifeless world that froze you to the depths of your soul. Even after her death, her memories were still alive. And there were all kinds of conspiracies forming around her living memories. Even after she lost her bad body, Krisu's pain continued. No, it wasn't just Krisu. Kagari and Suzuha. And the future. Mayuri, Ferris, Lukaku and Daru too. Everyone was suffering, everyone was miserable, but still they tried to move forward. And all I cared about was whether Mayuri survived. I thought that even if the Third World War came, no matter what happened to the world, as long as Mayuri was happy, that's all that mattered. I tried to think that. I thought that no matter how much blood and tears awaited us in the future, as long as things were fine now, that's all that mattered. I thought I had understood. I thought I understood how awful the future Suzuha described was, and how hard Daru and Suzuha would have to fight. I thought I understood all that. Suzuha found her gun and standing her hands and staining her hands with blood like it was nothing at all. Mayu and Ferris pale and colourless. Lukaku lying on the ground and never getting up again. Kagari and the others whose lives were ruined by fate. I'd seen them with my own eyes and touched them with my own hands. And then I finally understood. I'd only been pretending to know, so I could run away. I told myself I was going to die in 2025, and look the other way. 2025. I wasn't dead. Everyone just thought so. Everyone had been deceived. That's right. Deceived. Me in the past and everyone else in the future. The world was deceived. I thought the future was settled, but a different future awaited me. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. That's what you said 11 years ago. So, this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. I had no way of knowing what would make me say that 14 years from now. All I knew was that 14 years from now, I would know this day was coming. All I knew was that 14 years from now, I would know this day was coming. So maybe I should do what I said. If failure in 2036 was necessary, then maybe a world where Krisu was released from an electronic prison was necessary too. No matter how hard the path would be, I had to take the first step. And what I needed right now was that first step. Hayajo, what? Can you help me a little more before you go back to America? Okay, but on two conditions. Conditions? First, you let me look at the time machine. And second, you're gonna let me call you Ocarine, and you call me Maho. I don't think they're too much, do you? There was an innocent smile on her face, the likes of which I'd never seen before. Alright, Maho. Thanks, Ocarine. When she put her small hand against mine, I felt a solid warmth. What is it, Ocarine? Why didn't you call me back after all I already left? That's right, I don't live that close to here, so if you wanted to talk about something, you should have said so before I left. I called all the lab members back after they'd left to go home, and they weren't happy. So, what do you want to talk about, Ocarine? Is it I have a feeling I know what's coming. I've got a huge smile on my face because of it. Is it something you couldn't tell us on Ryan or the phone? Yeah, but first, Suzuha? What? I have a question. What do you think about me? What do you mean? Wait, Ocarine, you can't... Even if you... Ocarine, I'm never giving you Suzuha. Daddy won't... Even for you, Ocarine. I'm not giving you Suzuha. Daddy won't allow it, never. I ignored Daro, who seemed to have gotten the wrong idea completely and turned back towards Suzuha. I wonder if Mocha's here. Fine. I don't say anything. You've been watching me since last summer. What have you been thinking about me? I want your honest opinion. You sure? Yeah? To be honest, you've been pissing me off. Yeah, I was honest. I chuckled. Not just me, Dad, Big Sis Mayuri. It's not just me, Dad, and Big Sis Maru. It's Big Sis Rumi and Brother Luca and Kagari. In the future, everyone suffers. They don't even know if they're going to be alive tomorrow. They might die horribly, like my mom did. And they'll be trying their best to survive anyway. But all you do is whine and act like you're the only person in the world with problems. When she started talking, she didn't stop. This must have been building up for a long time. Of course, I know you've been through a lot. I know you're suffering again and again. Oops. Until finally you couldn't go on. But you're all we have, Uncle Ocarine. She looked down, clenched her fist, and gritted her teeth. If I could take your place, I'd do anything. No matter what I had to go through, no matter how much it hurt, I'll do it. But there's nothing we can do. You're the only one who can do anything. She suddenly looked up, and I could see on her face all the complicated feelings she'd been holding back. But all you do is talk about how it's impossible, or you can't do it, or you don't want to. You just whine. And you won't even listen to me. I never said anything because Dad was around. But you always pissed me off. A lot of the time, I just wanted to punch you. It probably felt good to get that off her chest. Suzuha, you don't need to go that far. Ocarina understands. I didn't understand, yeah. I understand that something had to be done. Then why not do it? Do what? You wanted to hit me, right? Then hit me. Huh? But no need to hold back. Suzuha, stop it. Ocarina's... It's fine, Mayuri. For some reason, I just imagined her punching him and breaking his jaw. And I'd be like, oops. This was my way of settling things. With Suzuha. With the future. And with myself. That is... That's it. It's your fetish. Then I guess I won't stop you, but... You're really sure? Suzuha took a step towards me. Yeah? I was ready. Alright. This is going to hurt. Huh? No. Wait, you can go easy. That may have been the best sound effect ever. Okay, let's move on. She hit me hard enough to knock me across the room. Oh, sorry. I guess I put a little too much force into it. I just heard a really loud crunch. Are you okay, Ocarina? Everyone went over and looked down at me. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Probably did more damage to my brain than read the Stein or the time leaps, but... It woke me up. Now I just had to do what I could. Is that cute? I love how Ferris is the one that gets it first. No, Mayuri. It's Hoin Kiyoma. Yes, my name is Hoin Kiyoma, lab member 001, the founder of this lab, the man who longs for chaos, the mad scientist who will upend the ruling heresy of this world, Hoin Kiyoma. Lukako. Right. Bring me my white lab coat. Right, okay, I mean Kiyoma. Kiyoma's back. Dad, what is this? You did it, Suzuha. Ocarina's finally ready to fight. Here you are, Kiyoma. Indeed. I put on my lab coat for the first time in a very long time. It had been sitting on the shelf in the back so long that it smelled a little moldy. That's right. This is it. This is my holy silver armor. At this moment, Hoin Kiyoma has awakened, and he's revived from his long slumber. That pose. Oh, it has Game Steiner in the music. I love this game. Kagami and Maho were shocked seeing Hoin Kiyoma for the first time, and they were shocked into silence. What just happened? Did that punch drive him crazy? I remember now. Huh? Hoin Kiyoma. Mom used to talk about him all the time. She said that someday Hoi and Kyomo would come back to life and bring light to our future. I'm having a really hard time keeping up with all this. You, the lolly. Low blow. You, I'm talking to you. What? You're not talking to me, are you? You're the only lolly here, aren't you? What are you calling a lolly? I give you the honor of being lab member 009. You should be my servant and participate in our operations. Why'd I have to be your servant? And what the hell is a lab member? Lab mem. Just as the name suggests, it means you're an official member of this lab. You must feel very honored. Honored? Next, Kagai Shina. You are lab member 010. Got it? Okay. Wait, Kyomo. We don't get to be lab members now? Ferris and Lukako seemed upset. Come to think of it, I made them lab members in the Alpha World line, but not this one. I never told you, but of course, you're already lab members. Lukako is 006, Ferris is 007, and Suza has 008. Got it? Yes, sir. I don't quite understand, but Roger. Wait, Ocarine, who's 004 and 005? Those two numbers are reserved for Krisu and Mocha. To be honest, I didn't like the idea of leaving Mocha as an official lab member. But in order to reach a future where that could be true, I would need to face that. But in order to reach a future where that could be true, I would have to face the past right now. And Mocha's grown on me, at least. That was my decision. Now that everyone is here, I have something to declare. As of today, January 31st, 2011, we will begin a new operation. Our goal is to annihilate the coming future, to overturn the future of the world itself. That is our goal. Got it? Oh, and the sudden deadpan swap. Oh, I'm ending the episode here. Thank you all for watching. Oh.